guys, and welcome to the Hideout Hoodie. I know I'm super late for it, but I have some fucking stuff to say about Sierra Burgess is a Loser. Now this movie, as you might know, is a Netflix original movie, I think. And it is based on Cyrano de Bergerac. It was written in 1897 by Edmund Rostand. Yeah, there you go. Fucking knowledge right there. But yeah, so they made this fucking movie, right? And it's based on Cyrano de Bergerac. Here's the thing though. This movie and the characters in it are so fundamentally different from the original that the story isn't even the same in any way, shape, or form. There's some tiny little they think they're ugly. The main character thinks that they're ugly, and they talk to their love interest without their love interest knowing that it's them. That's about it, cause everything else, it's frustratingly different. So let me just go through the main three characters and show you how different they are. So just so you know, Sierra is Cyrano, Veronica is Christian, and Jamie is Roxanne. So let's fucking start with Sierra, shall we? So who is fucking Sierra? Sierra is, as many people have noticed, an asshole. She's this girl who at first seems like she's gonna stand up for herself, but then just doesn't for most of the movie. When she sees the counselor, she's just a complete pushover. She kind of stands up for herself in the bathroom, but then immediately gets her shoulder knocked by some random guys walking down the hallway. She kind of almost I'm badass, but then just gets stepped on for the entirety of the movie. She doesn't think that she can be loved, but she wants it anyway. She deceits Jamie because she wants to get with him, but she doesn't know how to make that happen, and she can see that she's heading for a wall, but she's still going through with some stupid fucking shit. So deep down inside, Sierra is selfish. She wants love, but she thinks I can't have it, and fuck everybody else because it's, I don't get what I want. And she ends up getting everything that she wants, but that's Sierra in a nutshell. And if you flip this, you have Cyrano. Cyrano is this intelligent, badass that will kick your ass if you try to insult him or even mention his nose, which is his big thing. And he's very prideful and confident, it seems, except when it comes to love, because he thinks that with the nose and everything, he can't be fucking loved. And he's kind of he wants to be loved, but he's just I can't be loved. It's not for me, clearly. It's for the pretty one. And his only desire throughout this whole charade that he goes through is to be able to kind of, in a way, tell Roxanne how much she's loved without expecting anything in return. He is, in his mind, he's very well aware that this is not going anywhere. He will never be loved, but he just wants to be able to express it. That's what he does, and he does it in secret of everybody. He does not want to tell anybody, and he's always worried about the others' feelings and treading on them and all of that. And that's what makes him this selfless character. There's this point where fucking Roxanne tells Christian I'm in love with your soul, and I wouldn't care if you're ugly as fuck. So Christian immediately goes and he's dude, fucking, she loves you, go tell her. And he goes to tell her, but then Christian comes back and he's on his deathbed because they're in a war, and he's just like, I can't tell her. I can't, like, I need to keep his image intact. I have to, like, be kind to him, and he fucking throws it away. He throws that away because he's just like, no, I can't do this to him. And like the last thing that he gets to tell him is like, I told her the truth. She still loves you. It's all about that. Like, that's all that he wants, is like, he's just like, I can't have this, but I just want you guys to have this because I love you, Roxanne, and she loves you, and you're pretty, and you're the one. Like, that's his whole thing. And he's just like, he's so fucking selfless in that way. And like, the fact that they're comparing him to Sierra is just like, anyway, I'm not even done. Alright. Next character, Veronica and Christian. Boy, oh boy, did they fucking change that one. Veronica is actually a combination of two characters in the original, because she is both Christian and she's also the rude character that kind of like insults Cyrano the first time around so that he can like basically roast himself for like a good 5 minutes just to prove that that guy is an idiot because he can't come up with one good insult, where he has like just like a fucking ballad dedicated to roasting himself. She's like both of those characters, but she's also kind of more the bad random dude than Christian, because she's not in love with Jamie. She's not in love with Jamie. She's just kind of like there for the ride, and her character is actually the most interesting in the whole thing, because since she is so removed from Christian, she just becomes this character who is mean and only focused on beauty and popularity, and kind of tries to grow and become better. I mean, she's still not like she's like following along with Sierra's like whole charade and catfishing endeavor, which is, you know, a bit of a step in the wrong direction, but she's just like trying. So it's kind of, her arc is definitely the most interesting, and she's kind of like the most like, oh, alright, but she is completely like different from her original counterpart, because yeah, she's not in love with Jamie. She's just, you know, personally growing. So that's kind of bizarre. And finally, last but not least, Jamie and Roxanne. This is actually, apart from Sierra being like a really creepy catfishing, the whole kiss thing, nah. But like, apart from all of that, this character, like Jamie, is actually what made this movie fall apart for me. Which, honestly, I haven't heard a lot of people say, but if you look at Jamie as a character, alright, he's this kind of like somewhat, like what, philosophical jock who's like, yeah, a little bit more intellectual than the rest. And he's like, he falls for Veronica because she's pretty, and he like tries to get to know her, so he texts her, and you know, he's texting Sierra, and like that's the whole thing. But then, like, he goes on a date with Veronica. Their voices are different, and he can't fucking tell the difference. He can't fucking tell the difference, and he seems to be having a good enough time. Like, he thinks that she's acting weirdly around the car, but like, yeah, she's acting like a psycho, for reasons. But apart from that, he seems to be fine with it. And right until the end, and when he goes to her school for the football match, like, he's like, oh hey, I finally get to show you off to my bros. Like, clearly he likes her looks, and it's like not this big thing for him of, like, the mind doesn't seem to be a big thing, because he can't even fucking tell the two girls apart. Even with their voices being different. And they tried to salvage it at the very end when he's like telling her about how her song made him feel and all of that, and he's just like, you're the one for me. But like the entire movie, none of that was there. They didn't connect. He couldn't even tell them apart. Now, if you go to his counterpart, Roxanne, now that is a fucking different story. And that's where the whole thing makes sense. Because, you see, Roxanne, right, she falls in love with Christian because she thinks he's good looking as well. You know, just like Jamie. But then, so, you know, Christian sends her a letter, and it's like Cyrano wrote this letter, so she's immediately like, oh shit, and he's witty too? Fuck yeah, jackpot. But then, like, at some point, Christian is like, I want to talk to her, like, I want to woo this fucking woman, not just you, like, I can do it. He goes, and he talks to her, and she fucking does not, like, she's like, get your shit out of here, fuck, what is that? Like, Christian flops completely. She immediately rejects him. She does not want anything to do with him, because that's the whole thing. She is in love with like Cyrano's mind and like the way that he expresses himself and him, and that's the whole thing, being in love with somebody's like mind and soul and not the exterior. That's like the tragedy of it, where she does love him, but he just can't get over the fact of his appearance and like just never acts on it and never thinks that he can be loved. But that's the whole point. At the end, when she goes and she meets up with him, which is kind of like when Jamie goes to the school to like meet up with her, with Veronica, like, she immediately tells him, I don't care if you'd be ugly as like all hell, I love you, I fell in love with your soul through your letters that you kept on sending me. And Jamie it's just like, I get to show you off to my bros. And that's where the whole film falls apart, because you're trying to make me like, oh, he fell in love with her because they talked and shit. He couldn't tell them apart. He couldn't fucking tell them apart. Not only is Sarah a piece of shit character who's a terrible human being, but two, Jamie can't fucking tell the two girls apart, so this whole thing of being in love with her mind and her spirit and yada 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 doesn't even fucking make any sense. And Veronica's just a completely random different character that is completely different from Christian because she's not in love with Jamie. Shut the fuck up. It's my book. That's why this movie, to me, on top of being not good because of the character being dislikable, is also just like a total mess in terms of an adaptation. So yeah, not only is it terrible for all the other reasons that people have said before, but like, yeah, the characters in Sierra Burgess are just, they're just either badly, like, they lack the one thing that made the original so interesting and great, or they're completely different. Like, Veronica has nothing to do. She's more like the asshole at the beginning if he got an extended part in the whole thing. Like, she's more him than Christian. But yeah, that is my thoughts on it. That is my comparison. Yeah, so that's about it. I am tired. I think I've been screaming about this movie for like the past 15-20 minutes. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you like have seen or read the original Cyrano de Bergerac. And that's yeah, I think I'm gonna go eat something. Feel free to hang out, and I'll see you guys around. Bye guys.